Good morning, beautiful people, and happy Monday. I wanted to do a video today more towards what I do and a little bit about my story. So this weekend I did a party and I've had a lot of people message me asking me questions as well as about what I do and what my services entail. So this weekend I did a party and I started offering charcuterie boards with my parties. I wanted it to be more of an experience. At first, when I started doing parties, I was letting people bring in food and alcohol and drinks and whatever they want, which is great. And you can still do that if you want to. But then I was like watching them carry all this stuff in and having to grab it all, and it just didn't feel like an experience to me. And I'm somebody, I love to host. I love like chopping vegetables, making fresh, good food, organic. Like that's just who I am. So I have a friend, her name is Nicole Loren, and she is a client of mine. And a while ago, I did some sessions on her where it came up that she was going to start a business doing charcuterie boards. And while doing this session, she told me like she's always wanted to do that. She loves hosting. When she threw a party, she actually brought like all this food and did this whole display. And I was like, I love how you do this. You're the only one I've seen do it like this. And I asked her if she would teach me how to make charcuterie boards. And so she did. And she also offers classes. And even if you're not local, she could teach you over Zoom. So if you want more information on that, let me know. That is how I learned, and I love it. I love like making it a total experience where I can display everything and do everything, clean it all up. My clients don't have to worry about any of that. So I wanted to touch base on that because I do get a lot of questions about the food that I make for my healing parties. Another question that I get a lot is, what is a healing party and like, what do I do? So I want to kind of like touch on that a little bit. A healing party is where it's like you and a group of your friends, your personal tribe that come over to my place, and you can sit in my sitting room. I have like a really awesome area where you guys can hang out and listen to music and enjoy food and drinks. I always tell people like alcohol is welcome, but it is something that lowers your vibration and your natural frequency. So you want to keep it to a minimum, especially before your session, because I'm always wanting my clients to get the best session that they possibly can out of their experience. And you guys can hang out, and then I take each person individually back to my healing room and you get a personal one-on-one session with me. And what I do is I am a Reiki master, but my gift goes what I would say beyond Reiki. I have 6 different gifts. So when there are people that are gifted or do healings and stuff like that, or psychics, I don't like the word psychic. I personally don't resonate with it. I like the word intuitive, but that's just me. But there are 6 different senses, and most people have like 1 or 2, and I actually have all 6. And so there is clairvoyance, which is seeing, clairaudience, which is hearing, clairalliance, which is smelling, clairsensitive, which is feeling, and claircognizance, which is knowing. And did I say tasting? Because clairgustance, which is tasting also. So that's all 6. And I actually can pick up on all of those things. Sometimes I'll smell like cigarette smoke or like a powdery perfume. Like if my grandma comes around, I can totally smell this kind of powdery smell that reminds me of her. And sometimes when I'm doing sessions, I'll taste things like blueberry muffins, or like it's just very odd to me like how foods will come up. But then if they're trying to connect with somebody that that was like their favorite food or something, you know what I mean? And so a lot of times that comes through for me. Thankfully, the least one that I pick up on is hearing, because I think I would probably feel like I was going crazy if I was hearing voices and stuff all the time. That's only happened a couple of times. But my strongest one, I would say, is the seeing. Like I get images and see things in my mind almost like I'm watching a movie. And that's how my gift works for me. Like I said, I am a Reiki master. I started out by taking Reiki 1. It didn't really hit for me. I didn't get a lot out of it. In fact, I kind of gave up and didn't do it for about a year. And then a girlfriend of mine, Michelle, she was taking Reiki and wanted me to do it, and she felt very strongly that I should be doing this. And she actually, bless her heart, I was in a very area of my life, I guess, where I couldn't afford a lot, and she gifted it to me as a gift. She paid for my Reiki too, and which I'm realizing now is even more of a gift because it has brought me to where I'm at. And it was a completely different experience. We did it at the Green Lotus, and David Keeley was our instructor, and he is amazing. I cannot say enough good things about him. And it was so powerful, and it was the first time I ever realized how gifted I actually was. And I learned that going through the process, like I could feel on my back like this expansion, and I didn't really know what it was other than it almost felt like angel wings were like expanding out of me. And I've never told anybody that because it sounds crazy, and I realize that that it sounds crazy. And during the sessions, when I would work on people, or like there'd be a group of us working on one, the other people would be like, all I can feel is her energy. That's all I can feel is like the expansion of her energy. And so I had never been told that before. It was actually very interesting. And then when we were in class and about to graduate, the instructor was talking, and I suddenly saw a Native American man with a headband and 2 feathers. And for some reason, I don't know what we were talking about, but I mentioned it, and everybody like was staring at me, and our instructor was staring at me, and he was like, actually, that's my spirit guide, and he usually doesn't show himself to anybody else, and I'm actually really surprised and blown away that you can see that. And so it was from there on that I realized what my gift actually was and how to use it. And it has then expanded and evolved, because that was about 10 years ago. It has then expanded and evolved into, when I do sessions and people come to me and they want Reiki, I let them know like Reiki is hands-on energy. Like anybody can do Reiki. And I'm definitely not downplaying it. Reiki is amazing and it's healing energy, but I don't have to do specific Reiki to do what I do. The energy knows where to go. That's why I'm able to do phone sessions. Like whatever energy is meant to come through will come through. Whatever information is meant to come through will come through. And I'm able to connect with people, with loved ones. I wouldn't call myself a medium, but I am able to do that. And there's been a couple of times where I haven't been able to, but for the most part, I can. And, my business has grown and evolved just as I have grown and evolved. And I know that as I go, I will keep learning more and more about my gift. Not everything I get is literal. Sometimes it's metaphorical. Sometimes it's past life. I pick up on DNA trauma. I pick up on cellular issues or past life issues. And it's not every session. So every session will be different and revolve around whatever your intention is. So if your intention is that you need direction in a certain area of your life, that's what we'll set the intention as. And then that's usually what the information will come through. And I always tell people, like, you can ask questions throughout the session. But I might not always have the answer, because it might not come through, because that might be a life lesson where you're meant to experience it and not be given the answer. Like it might have to be lived. And I don't know how else to explain that, but that's just how the universe works. And the universe doesn't know time. So like if I feel like you have a relationship coming, it could be 3 years or 3 months or 3 days. Like it's not always going to tell me exactly when it is, because the universe doesn't know time. And another thing about setting an intention, I have clients that'll like go on a 5-minute explanation, and it's meant to be more condensed. It's meant to be It can be as specific as you want or as broad as you want, but the more broad it is, the more it leaves it open to interpretation of wherever the session's going to go. The more direction that we have, the easier it is to figure out like what's meant to come through and how it's going to make sense. And I will ask questions throughout the session because I don't always understand what I'm seeing. I don't know your life, especially if I've never met you before. I need to know, like, what is this that it's showing me? Because the universe is going to show me things that I'm going to recognize and that I can understand. If I've never experienced that before, I'm not going to know how to put it together. So that's just kind of how it works. So if you have any questions for me about what I do, please let me know. I would love to answer any questions that you have. Or if you've had a session with me and you want to leave a comment of like how it changed your life or like what it did for you, that would be amazing. I would love that. And other people would love to see it as well. All right. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a great day.